Today we're talking to Georgetta Williams, my very own Nana. She's 89 years old. We're going to talk about how she stays healthy and fit and vibrant at this big age of hers. I've had this idea for a podcast literally since 2020, and I just kept coming up with excuses as to why I couldn't start yet. And I figured, okay, let me start. But the first person I interview has got to be somebody that I am totally familiar and comfortable with. And that is why we're talking to Nana today. But yeah, you could totally use it to learn anything, even to learn how to use it.
Oh.
It's like super meta like that.
Now all I need to do is learn how to type. I don't even know how to type.
You can type on your phone. You text message me. That's enough.
Well, texting is different with one finger.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you can press the, the little microphone button, and you can ask your question. Yeah. I use that all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There are
now
no excuses.
I have to find that on my phone. Anna's always said, "Mommy, hit Amazon. Go to Amazon."
Don't go to Amazon now. You be spending too much money. Yeah, you need to stay off of Amazon.
And I spend too much money now that I don't have.
Right, Walmart. It's like Walmart at your fingertips.
Right.
You wouldn't have to leave the house. Don't do Amazon. You can even do your prescriptions on Amazon now. Okay. They will deliver them to your door.
Yeah, I know.
But don't do that.
I got that information from Walmart. They say you don't have to come in.
But don't you like going in?
Yeah, I love going
right?
Because I love spending money.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because you love seeing your friends who work at the pharmacy.
Yeah. Oh, I love my friends at the pharmacy.
But that's the thing, Nana. You get to go in. You get to see your friends at the pharmacy. They know and love you. And you have the fitness. You park the car. You walk in. The whole experience. You get to go outside. You get to drive.
And by the way, today when I was waiting for your mother, I stood outside 15 minutes.
Oh.
Over 15 minutes.
And to get that light.
And got my son.
Okay. It's so important.
It is very important. Yeah. And I even go on my phone and do the exercises that they show, with your hands.
Yeah.
With your feet and everything.
Exactly. That's why you're young and youthful.
Yes, I'm young and I'll be 89.
89.
I'll be 89 in May.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But you're inspiration because you do all those things, Nana. And a lot of young people even, I feel like we are so used to using our devices, our phones, ordering everything to our door. Right. And especially after COVID, a lot of people got really accustomed to being at home, ordering everything directly to their door, that convenience. And even there's a fear. Some people even still have a fear of I don't want to run into so-and-so. I don't want to leave the house. What if something happens? And they won't go out.
I'd say you got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
I tell all my cousins that are in their 80s, keep it moving.
Exactly.
Regardless, that's even if you just move your toes, your legs and all while you're sitting down.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's so true.
I keep it moving.
Exactly. Also, another thing Max was telling me the other day. So I don't know if you were aware of this, Anna, but like a couple of years ago, it became this big... It was like sitting is the new smoking. Sitting down is as bad for you as smoking. Right. And so people started shifting to getting standing desks so that when they're working, they're no longer sitting.
Right.
They're standing. Or they'll, alternate between both because the desks often go up and down. Right. But now some people are saying, well, standing is just as bad. It's not about standing or sitting. It's about moving.
Right.
It's about moving your whole body and being active all day long.
Right. And even if you're standing at the counter and cooking, I stand on my toes.
Nice.
Stand on your toes. Because I don't want to end up in the hospital again. I don't think I would have came through what I came through if with my broken hip or hip, whatever was happening to my head. I wouldn't have came through it that way if I hadn't exercised.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because even the therapist told me, said, "Miss Georgetta, you're doing so great. We can't believe it. They couldn't believe it, how good I was doing."
And remember the year before you fell and I don't know, it was like a fracture of your wrist. It was something really minor. But if it were, I think also, if you hadn't been exercising, if you hadn't been active, then it would have been worse then.
Because you've overcome all these challenges like really quickly, and at an age where most people, that's it. Like that happens, you're in the hospital, and like you might not walk again. You might have to be in a wheelchair, bedbound.
Right.
But you've always, like, I remember you've always been like doing the push-ups against the wall. Well, yeah. Also, not even like push-ups against the wall and like I'm gonna exercise, but like you cleaned houses, so that's great.
All that bending and all.
Right. That's so good for your health. Like I know a lot of people, most people have these jobs where you're sitting in a desk or you're stationary, but you and my mom and my dad also, all of you had these jobs where you're constantly moving, lifting, bending.
Right, and believe it or not, I wouldn't even be able to reach to the top of my cabinet and get the heavy things that are in there. Even the pot you gave me for Christmas
that cast iron
was heavy. I had to learn how to hold it and lift it and move it from place to place. But that's just because I kept it moving. I wasn't going to give up.
Wow. But that's really beautiful, Nana. Your whole life, I feel like, is such an inspiration and a testimony to movement, to also just like your outlook, your attitude. You're so positive all the time. Even when you're not positive, like even because you like, I used to call you Negative Nancy or Negative Nana because you do think of some like, okay, like for example, years and years ago when I was in high school and I went to Costa Rica and for my exchange program, and you did not want me to go. You were super concerned about it. And then you remember you lived at my mom's house at the time, and they had to call, the school had to call before we did a field trip to get the parents' permission. And they called, and whoever called had a thick Costa Rican Spanish accent, and she left a voicemail to say, "Hi, we're just calling because we're going to take Janae with the other students whitewater rafting." Or maybe she just said rafting. But your brain, you heard the voicemail. In your brain, you heard, we're taking Janae to Iraq. And I think we were in the Iraq war at the time. Because this was like 2004. So we were at war at the time. I think the war had just started. And you literally, I remember you like called, or no, oh my God, because we didn't have cell phones back then. So remember I had that boyfriend, Iman. And you couldn't get in touch with me because I was in a different country. And my parents, I think, were at work and they were like ignoring you. And you called my boyfriend at the time, Iman, and you had him email me. So that night I checked my email and I had an email from him saying, "Janae, your grandmother says you're going to Iraq." Like, no, I'm going whitewater rafting.
That sounds like me. Believe me, I am old school, was old school then, and I'm old school now.
Yeah, that was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You were 60-something years old.
I still worry about you when you go out of the country.
Yeah, but at the same time, you laugh about it.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's part of, like you are so positive, and it seems like that kind of counteracts your worries. Because you always are laughing about it, and you always have like, oh, okay, it wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Oh,
right. Well, I'm fortunate and blessed because I have a granddaughter that hips me, brings me up to what's going on now, physically and emotionally. And my diet.
Yes. Okay, so I wanted to talk to you about diet too, because you called me like a month ago and you were talking to me about, obviously you have come so far. But I also want to mention in a minute like how, I just want to back it up for people who don't know. Because I grew up eating semi-vegetarian, so no red meat and no pork, right? And so you always made soul food, but you always cooked at home. It was always fresh.
That's why it was
seasonal,
called soul food.
Right. And you always said that.
Yeah.
You put love in everything.
Yes.
And, dedication and all of that. And, but back then in the 90s, not eating red meat and pork was like, I might as well have been vegan. It was like a super like healthy thing back then. Nowadays, we wouldn't even call it semi-vegetarian. We would just nobody would call it anything. But back then, we were already like, I think like ahead of the curve.
Right.
The way you were cooking, it was authentic and, you know, like soul food, and we ate really well.
Right.
Like even if you would sometimes fry stuff, it wasn't every day, and generally it was almost always home cooked, like all the time.
Oh yeah, and that's why I cooked at home most of the time, because it was less money. I had to put out less money for
And we ate a lot of beans.
Right.
Crazy
beans
cheap.
A lot, but there was a dessert on the side.
Yeah, homemade.
Can I tell you this joke?
Oh yeah, tell me the joke. Let me get my.
It's pertaining to being a vegetarian.
Okay.
This little boy, he told his mom, "I'm going to run away from home." And she said, "Oh, okay." And he went out the door and he was running around and around and around the block. And the policeman in the area that patrolled the area asked him, "Why are you running around the block?" He said, "Because my mother told me not to cross the street."
Oh.
So that's how I want to sum up being a vegetarian. You have to do it a little bit at a time.
Did you come up with that?
Yeah.
Clever.
Somewhat. Because people don't want to go across that street into the vegan aspect of being a vegetarian. Vegan?
Yeah.
Being a vegan?
Yeah, whatever. I think that both of them are big steps for people. To be a vegetarian first is a huge step forward.
For
people.
Right. And that's so true because they don't want to try it.
Right.
I just tell my friends, just try it.
Just try it. Just do it. No, I know. I think the biggest, I want to hear from you. What do you think is the biggest challenge that people have, though, just crossing the street and trying it?
Meats.
You think so?
They don't want to give up their meats. They don't want to give up their pork chops. They don't want to give up their hamburgers. They don't want to give up their bacon. You know, bacon's a big thing too.
Yes.
That's the biggest challenge. But you have done, Janae, you have done so well transferring that taste. It's only taste.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
That's true.
Transferring that taste to the vegetable. You have done such a great job doing that. You can emulate bacon. You can emulate
chicken.
Yeah.
With the mushrooms.
Yeah, not only with mushrooms, you do it with cauliflower.
Oh, yeah.
Cauliflower
chicken
is the bomb.
That's true.
I ate the whole cauliflower.
Did you? Well, listen, good. And that's a good way, though, to get people to eat. Like, I know, like, children and just people in general who are you love vegetables, but some people don't. So if you can dress it up and turn it into something that you're familiar with, like cauliflower fried chicken.
I love vegetables because my grandfather had a farm in Delaware. I was brought up on vegetables.
Exactly.
Yeah, we would just walk down the road and pick up tomatoes, and I would just eat the center of tomatoes.
Really?
Didn't need any salt or anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you get that type of tomato now? Have you had that flavor?
No.
We got to grow our own.
I don't think my grandfather even used any pesticides. Is that what you call it?
Right.
Yeah.
Pesticides and what is it, like fertilizers and stuff?
Yeah, fertilizer.
He probably used like all organic stuff.
Yeah.
Back then
was just all natural.
All natural. They didn't even have to worry about organic.
They
didn't have an alternative.
Right.
But now we do have to worry.
And that's the only thing that hurts me, that I see the result of eating that way. Dumplings and my aunt put dumplings in beans, like the lima beans. She put dumplings in there. And guess what the dumplings were made of?
Flour?
And lard.
Oh, and lard.
Yeah, flour and lard. And, it just causes you to swell up.
Right.
You know?
Interesting.
And it's bad for your heart.
Right.
Yeah, cholesterol and all of that.
Yeah.
And that's what that's hard for people to get away from. That way they ate when they were at home.
Right. But now, okay, so that I feel like is your generation. Maybe my mom's a little bit, I don't know. But like, I think the bigger challenge with my generation and like the people just a little older than me is like processed foods, it seems. Because I remember when I was a kid, there, like, what was it? Fat-free was all the rage. So there was like all this packaged stuff that was fat-free. But it was like packed with sugar but there was no fat and it was nasty.
Oh yeah.
And then so even when you took out the fat, now you replace it with something highly processed and the rates for obesity and heart disease and diabetes go up even higher.
Well, how do you know if it's processed?
If it's in a package.
Yeah, okay.
Not always, but I can't remember who said it, but one of these like doctors who speaks a lot about nutrition said that you should think of the label on a package as a warning sign. It doesn't mean it's going to be bad, but think of it like that. Look at the package label, see what's in there.
You have to read the ingredients.
Yes. And even when things are, you can look at something and it seems like, oh, there's only one ingredient in it. But how processed is that one ingredient? Like, for example, something like, now I'm going to use a vegan example just because it's top of mind, but soy protein isolate. It's like soy protein that has been removed from the soybean. So you don't have any of the other, like it's basically been processed to make like a powder that you can add to things, right? High in protein, but it's a powder and it's been processed. So even if you buy a bag of that, it only has that one ingredient, but it is a processed ingredient. So like generally, it's best to eat, like most of your food should be coming from like foods that you recognize it as being grown out of the ground, like a cauliflower.
Oh, that you can read.
You don't even have to read it. You don't need to read it because you can look at it and be like, that's a cauliflower. This is a sweet potato. This is an apple. It can have a label all at once, but I can see with my eyes what it is. Like that's the healthiest foods. Beans, it's a bag of beans.
Right.
Whatever. This is a kale. I don't know. This is a leaf of kale. I don't know. But that is like the most nutritious foods. But I think generally like in America and in the whole world now, increasingly so, we're relying more and more on processed foods. Even the vegan, you see all this vegan processed food.
I see, yeah, you're
so
right.
much now.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
No more everybody raise their own food and all. That's why my cousins and all that I communicate with that are older, I talk to them about that too all the time.
Right.
I said, but they're trying. They just have to cross that street.
Exactly. I like that. Don't keep running around the block.
Right. You're right.
I like
exactly.
that. Nana, Patty thought you have the best quips. And she had like a shirt that she has good quips too, but it was like Nana's quips. So I'm going to have to, I think I wrote it down and I think we should print those as t-shirts. But that's a good one.
Yeah.
But what do you think, like, okay, well, you called me a month ago, right? So back to that. And you were talking about generational like habits and how hard it is to break. It does seem like that is one of the most difficult things for people to cross the street.
Right.
You're used to doing something and your grandma and your mom or whatever has done it too. Like how do you, because you, like our family, ours, like part of the family, you, me, my mom, we do things pretty differently. But what made it so that you could do it differently so that we could do it after you?
Well, Janae, you're doing that because when I talk to my cousins that weigh 300 pounds and maybe more, I always tell them, matter of fact, the ones that don't weigh that are younger and that are actually doing their cooking, I say, go to my granddaughter's website, sweetpotatosoul.com.
Right.
That's how they can change it.
Yeah.
They just have to, and they have time. They have no excuse.
Yeah.
That's what they have to do. They have to want to do it themselves.
That's true.
And realize the significance of not doing it. Look how I lost weight.
Right.
I was close to 300 myself.
I know. I have a picture on my desk of you.
Yeah.
You were, but I was a kid. But yeah, you have lost a lot of weight. And I do see old pictures of you. I was like, I didn't even know that was that big. Honestly.
Well, I was. And I did it slowly.
Right. But Nana, okay, so I do need to ask you about this because you have done it slowly and you have, like, I see what you eat and I see what you cook. You can cook really clean, cook everything at home, all natural ingredients.
And I love to cook.
Right, and you love to cook, but you did have the issue in the past with emotional eating. Did you overcome that? Like, what did you do?
Yes. Okay. I did. I love cookies.
Yes.
I love
ice
cake with ice cake.
Yeah.
Ice cream.
You're eating that rice cream.
Number one with ice cream.
Number one.
And I used to make, with all that butter and sugar, I used to make rice pudding.
Right. But how did you stop? Because you've lost all this weight.
Well, what I did, I informed myself. You have a recipe in your book on sweetpotatosoul.com that is a recipe for rice pudding.
That's true.
And it doesn't have all that heavy butter in it.
That's true.
Doesn't have all that heavy cream and sugar in there.
That's true, yeah.
And cinnamon is very good for you anyhow.
Yeah, and your blood sugar. It's really good for your blood sugar too.
Right.
That's true. Right. So healthy swaps.
Yes.
Okay.
Inform yourself.
Yeah. I know. You know what? I think it's really sad though, because is it that people, not for us, because like, yes, I inform myself and that's what made me eat healthier. Likewise with you. But like for my example, my father, he said, "Oh, I'll just take this medicine." Like, does he know, or does I wonder how common is that attitude? Like, I'm not going to make a change. I'll just take the drugs. That's what the drugs are for. Well,
your father, being a man, most of the time, the wife, whoever does the cooking, has to. He doesn't know what he's eating. You know what I mean? He might think he's eating beef, or he might be eating the tofu that you have so well prepared in your book. Also, they don't know what they're eating most of the time.
Right. That's true.
You just have to give it to them.
That's true. And he does talk, like, I do think he just says stuff to make me, to rile me up, obviously, because he did lose a lot of weight.
Yeah.
Like, he lost a lot of weight. He's been exercising. He's doing really well himself. And he is eating mostly vegan himself. Tracy is 100% vegan.
Right.
She's an amazing cook.
She does a lot of cooking.
Right.
And I noticed when we were over there Thanksgiving, everything was edible. Everything.
Delish.
The way they prepared it and all. It was.
You're right.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Men, most of the time, they say they won't eat it, but if you prepare it in a scrumptious way, that they don't realize they're not eating meat.
Okay, but that's such a good point though, because a lot of people ask me, what do you do? How do you transition to eating healthier, vegan, whatever, if you are married to someone who is not supportive? And you're not going to cook 2 meals.
Right.
But like,
you can't afford to.
You can't afford.
Right.
Time, money. Like, but you think if you still cook it, they'll eat it?
Yes.
They don't know the difference.
Yes. You'd be surprised. They won't even know the difference.
Maybe it's a limiting. Like, so many of our ideas are limiting. Like, they're not necessarily excuses, but we don't recognize that we're just imposing these limitations. We don't know if he'll eat it. He might say he won't, but you cook it and he'll eat it because he's not going to go hungry.
Right, exactly.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Right.
Just give it a try.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for people, women, heads of households, to put themselves first. Like, you shouldn't be out here suffering and you've got high blood pressure, you've got diabetes, and you really want to eat better, but you're like, oh, I can't because my husband isn't going to like
I can't afford too many. Right. Or my children won't eat it. And children, they will eat what's put in front of them.
But if you have a major health event where you can't be in the house cooking anyway, because of the lifestyle and the food, your kids and your husband are going to have bigger problems, right?
Well, you can always prepare something ahead of time and put it in the refrigerator. They're not going to go out of their way to prepare something different if there's something in the refrigerator.
That's right.
For them to eat.
And also, I think I always tell people, okay, so sure, let's say your husband, your children, they want to eat steak, they want to eat chicken.
Right.
Those things are easy. They don't require a lot of prep. Make your vegan stuff, like let's say you're going to do pasta, right? Like a nice pasta with lots of vegetables, whatever, or a curry.
Right.
Then you're going to buy the chicken anyway. Cook the chicken on the side. You eat that whatever main dish that you made that is plant-based, and then they can eat the meat.
Right.
You know, just separate it. So you don't need to make two different meals, but they'll eat their meat with the pasta still.
Yeah, they certainly will.
Because the meat is not hard to cook, like usually, right?
Right. No, it's not.
Right.
It's not hard to prepare. Especially if you have your book.
That's where the mushrooms come in. I was going to say, you got to transition the family from the meat to the mushroom.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, though I haven't succeeded. Georgie still don't like mushrooms.
Right. Well, Georgie won't know mushrooms if you prepare them, and she doesn't know they're in there.
You're right, though.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember those empanadas I made? They were like mushroom empanadas.
Yeah.
She loved those. And they were a lot of mushrooms.
That's what I said. It's all in the technique, and you have that technique, Janae. You do.
That's a good one. I need to make that. I actually really want to make that one again because I haven't done it in a long time, and I know she loved them. And they're so good for you. Mushrooms, right?
Right. And I tell Ann, my friend Ann, to prepare mushrooms for her husband.
Yeah.
Because, they're very good for men and women.
Yes.
Too.
The brain.
Right.
The heart, the whole body. Antioxidants, preventing lowering your risk of cancer.
Right. Yeah, mushrooms are good, especially if he eats, I think they eat steak twice or beef like twice or 3 times a week. I said, substitute it with mushrooms one time. He won't care. Exactly. You just got to try it.
And they're so meaty anyway. A lot of people who love meat love mushrooms.
Right.
And then they often put them together.
Yes.
But so we started talking about like how, for you, you're active. You've always been active.
Yeah.
But you were not active like I'm out playing tennis and running track. You were just like in your life. You have a lot of energy. You've always been doing a lot of movement. Your job required a lot of movement. So I think it's also important to remind people that the food is important. It's probably the most important thing.
Energy.
Yes, what you eat, but you've got to actually do like once. I don't know if it's got to be the same time or what or in stages, but we need to start thinking about these other aspects of health beyond the food so that you could be like you, because you've got the food, right? But you also have the active. And now you yourself are getting out in the sunshine.
Right.
Getting more of that.
Right. Yeah, like my granddaughter said.
Is it working?
Nana, you need 15 minutes of sun.
Yes.
And even when it's cold.
How's your sleep?
Yeah.
Is it good?
It's working.
It's working?
Yeah.
Good.
And I get to see some of my neighbors when they come out and say, hi, Miss Williams.
Good.
I guess they didn't even know I was there. But
right.
now I stand outside, even if I just stand by my car.
Right.
We're in the sun.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
When I lived in New York and in Boston, there was always talk of seasonal depression. This time of year, February, March, January, really.
Because it's gloomy.
Gloomy. And then you're indoors. You're forced to be inside. But are you really forced?
Right.
Because if you look at people in Scandinavia and Europe, it's super cold, right? They literally put their babies out in strollers to take naps.
Right. I used to do that with your mother. Yeah.
Doesn't matter how cold, the babies sleep so well. They're bundled up, of course, right?
Right.
But they sleep so well. They have the exposure to fresh air, to sunlight.
Exactly.
So for us, even if we're in Boston like I was or New York, it's like it is a limiting belief that we can't go out and still the sun is still coming through the clouds, right? It is still going to work on your brain. It is still going to, reverse that seasonal depression.
And you feel good. You feel
so
good and rejuvenated.
And like you said, you get to see your neighbors.
Yes, I get to see run there. They say, "How Miss Williams, are you okay?"
Yeah, before you came here today, I had my coat on because right before y'all got here, I was on the back porch and I was cold. It was so cold. So I just put my coat on. And yesterday we did the same thing, but then I had Max come and build us a fire. Because then sit by the fire.
Yeah, okay. I was wondering if you're still building the fire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We hadn't done it in a while, but yeah.
I also, you remember when I exercised 3 times a week?
Yes.
Who did I exercise with?
Silver Sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to interact with your old and doty friends like you.
I love it. But no, you need, I think that's important. Okay, so Silver Sneakers, and that's national. Anybody can do that anywhere.
And your insurance pays for it.
Ooh, that's even better.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what I want to talk about actually? Speaking of Georgie right here. Children and eating well, making healthy habits now. Because you and I were talking about how hard it is to break generational habits. But the children are a great place to start with new habits, healthy habits. What do you think parents should be doing to make sure that they are preparing their children with healthy habits for the future?
First of all, I know it's difficult to plan. To plan what I'm going to feed my daughter or son in the morning, and what I'm going to give her for lunch, what I'm going to give her for dinner, what I'm going to prepare for dinner. Planning is the most important thing.
Okay.
Because my cousin, right now, he weighs over 300 pounds, but I said, his mother, when he was little, all they knew was McDonald's because his mother worked at, she had her own shop, beauty shop.
Right.
And every time for lunch or for dinner, they would go to McDonald's.
Wow. Right.
And right now, he eats fast food.
Yeah.
And he's in his 40s or 50s, but he still eats fast food.
Because it's so hard to break the habit, though.
Yes.
And it's not your fault as a child. You didn't choose. But now you're 40, 50.
Right.
I was listening to this interview. This reporter, journalist, he wrote a book about obesity. He's from England. He wrote a book about obesity, and he himself is on Ozempic. And he was talking about how important Ozempic is for people like him who were raised on junk food, who have tried everything to stop eating it, to lose weight naturally, to become healthier. But it is so difficult because since he was a little kid, he's been raised eating this way, and it is literally addictive.
That's that generational. They don't know any better, and they haven't been taught any better.
Okay, now what do you think about Ozempic? The weight loss pill, Ozempic and Wegovy, the ones
I think anything that goes in your body that's unnatural, it's not good.
Okay.
Anything.
Because it's not intended for you to get off of it either. You get on it and you're on it. Because if you get off it, you'll gain the weight back.
Well, even I was on medicine for high blood pressure, and I'm trying to get off of it. Get off of that. Why would you want to continue to put something in your body for years and years? And my pressure is down now.
Right. I know, consistently for many months.
Yes. But, eventually I'll get off the medicine altogether. But why would you want to start putting something in your body that you can't get off?
I think so a couple things. For you, your blood pressure has been great for months. But I also see, I went to the doctor with you recently, I also see that the doctor is reluctant. The doctors are always reluctant because they don't see what you're doing at home to keep your blood pressure down.
Right.
They see this is the medicine, her blood pressure is good, we better keep her on the medicine. Right. So it's very difficult for the doctor to take you off of a medication, even if your blood pressure is down or your weight is down because of what you are doing at home. They don't see it like that. But secondly, with the obesity thing and the Ozempic, I've thought a lot about it. I do think that the weight loss pills can have their place.
but I feel like you just said before about planning. Life is all about planning.
You have to plan.
You got to have a plan to replace it. Like you yourself, you were on way more high blood pressure medications.
Oh, yes.
You started eating healthier. You started making those healthy swaps. Now you're on fewer medications.
And I'm losing weight.
You've lost weight.
The weight helps too.
Yes.
Helps bring your pressure down. Yes. Yeah, by eating right, eating differently.
But I think Ozempic could serve as a stopgap for people who can't make the decision to, okay, I'm just going to go plant-based, or I'm just going to get rid of all the processed foods. I think if you are in the predicament where you feel like you cannot stop eating the unhealthy foods, if you take the weight loss pills like Ozempic and make a plan, okay, I'm going to be on Ozempic for this period of time, and while I'm on Ozempic, I'm going to, because now I'm not even craving McDonald's, right? Mm-hmm. You don't crave McDonald's. You don't want to drink as much alcohol, if at all.
Right.
So now that I'm off of my cravings, now I'm going to do my research. I'm going to start meal prepping. I'm going to figure out what is the way forward so that I can replace this drug with a lifestyle that doesn't require any drugs, that is linked to longer lives, that is linked to lower risk of disease. Like, you don't actually, I think if you have the right mindset and make a plan and are committed to yourself, I think that is a good way. I think Ozempic can be a good, like stepping stone, basically.
Right. And I know somebody that's on it, and he said that he's trying to make up his mind how much weight he wants to lose. So it's telling me that he can do it himself.
Interesting.
Yeah, he has to make up. He wants to make up his mind how much weight he wants to lose, how far he wants to come down.
Interesting.
But I said, well, you can do it yourself if you're trying to make that type of decision.
But our food system is so we're talking, with the McDonald's, with processed food, it is all created to addict us. Yeah, it's like it's working on our brains.
Right,
it's tricking us that we need to eat this. It's like I can't pass Chick-fil-A. I got to pull in and wait in this 1 hour line to eat this junk.
And my cousin, he commutes from Philadelphia to Camden, and on his way, I know he stops at one of those fast food places. And gets exactly what he wants.
Exactly.
That fried chicken and all,
It's that also, it gives you that, I remember, because, Chick-fil-A used to be my favorite. I remember that dopamine hit, though. When you open the little box, and then I like the barbecue sauce.
And you might have a toy.
Yeah, and now they got them little books in there. They're trying to educate the kids. Open it up, and things are hot. The fries, the waffle, I understand. I remember. It feels so good. It tastes so good. It's addictive. I fully get it. But we need to be stronger than
and
these
get that same feeling with
Listen, though, honest. So as a testimony, you can have that same feeling with healthy food.
Yes, you can. You just have to try a little harder.
Yes.
Just take that step.
Yes.
Like the little boy crossing the street.
Yeah. Oh, Nana, you're so inspiring.
Yeah.
Good.
I love
and
you.
so many people. Honestly.
You have inspired me.
Aww. You
have given me so much life or fulfillment in life. Yeah.
Likewise. I before we end it, I always tell the story when I was a little girl, you always let me mix the ingredients together on the counter. I always watched you cook, but also you always let me just be free and mix whatever flours and spices and put them in the oven and take them outside and pretend like I want you to eat them. It gave me so much freedom in general. Whenever you've always honored whatever I want to do, however I'm feeling, and always made me feel like I could do anything. And so this all Sweet Potato Soul, everything is because of you.
Oh, thank you, Janae. It's because I love you, and because I appreciate. We need you. We need somebody like you to give us inspiration and to tell us, because really we only know what we've been accustomed to.
That's true.
And you are opening the doors and opening the books and everything, letting us know that we can do better. Mm-hmm. We can live and eat healthier, which is a blessing.
Well, you have given me that, because, and I want to remind people just listening also, like, to really commit to your children and do it for your children. Right. Because, like, you know, my mom always tells the story of her. You made sure she went to like a great school, right?
Yeah.
And then she made sure I went to a great school also, even though we didn't live in the area.
Right.
But the commitment and the sacrifice to our children, because we never know what the sacrifices that we make will mean for our children and for their future and how they will affect the world. If you don't know, like, how you're going to make a healthy choice, how you're going to move forward, how you're going to, you know, start eating and living better, do it for your children, because you're going to be an example to them, and you never know what they'll end up doing thanks to that sacrifice and that commitment that you made.
And your children are your future.
That's right. I believe the children are the future. Then, are you going to come back on the podcast?
Yes.
In the future?
Yes, of course. I wanted to say, I'm back.
Ah, she's back. You'll have to keep coming back.
I will.
Yes.
I will.
And maybe we can interview some people together.
Okay.
That would be fun.
Sounds like a plan.
Right, we have a third person here, and we're grilling them.
Sounds like a plan.
Let's do it. High five. Thank you, Nana.
Love you, baby.
Love you too. Okay, Georgie, you can make all the noise.
Okay, guys, tell me the truth. What did you think? I hope you liked this episode, but leave a comment down below. Let me know how you liked it. Like I said, this is my first time interviewing anyone. And since then, I have recorded many, many, many more interviews with amazing people who are, you know, experts in wellness. I've interviewed doctors. I've interviewed Reiki masters and meditation teachers, all sorts of incredible, inspiring wellness women. So if you want to hear more, make sure to head over to my new YouTube channel, give it a follow, give it a like, turn the notifications on, and stay tuned, because I'll be sharing new episodes every week.